By the end of this video, you will have mastered 3 LinkedIn capabilities that you can start using to land high-paying freelance clients today. Up until now, you might not have known how to actually get on the platform and find these clients. LinkedIn really is going to be your best friend when it comes to landing high-paying freelance clients. It has about 450 million users, and it's not like other social media platforms like Facebook or Instagram where you can kind of feel salesy or scammy sliding into somebody's DMs and pitching them. LinkedIn is a business-focused platform that is specifically used for people to do business transactions. Back in the day, companies used to put their employees on their website. Literally, you would go to their website and there would be photos and you would be able to see their title and what they do and a little bit about them. While some companies still do that, it's definitely not as common, especially nowadays when people don't stay at companies for long periods of time. So that's why LinkedIn is so cool, because it's really this living, breathing Rolodex of where people are working, what they care about, and how to contact them at any given moment. I think of LinkedIn as a public org chart, essentially, where you can literally get an inside view into a company and see its employees, what their titles are, and what it is they do. Also, as people switch jobs more and more often, as layoffs abound during our current economic climate, you're able to keep in touch with people in a way that you never have before. I know when people move on from companies, they send that email like, hey, here's my personal email, let's stay in touch. But the crazy thing is with LinkedIn, you don't even need to do that anymore because you can always stay in touch with people. That's really valuable because as our clients move on to other companies, we can still stay in touch with them and continue to nurture the relationship. I'm Christine. I'm a full-time freelance copywriter in the B2B technology niche. But before I became a copywriter, I was in a completely unrelated field. I was in sales, and I basically got burnt out, and I reinvented myself as a copywriter just by learning via free content on YouTube. And that's why I was so inspired to teach other writers how to get on LinkedIn and start cold pitching clients, because I saw that this was really an untapped resource and that most writers don't have the sales skills or the prospecting abilities that we learn in sales. And that's why I'm here teaching how I got my start as a freelance copywriter step by step. The first thing you're going to want to do when you get on LinkedIn is to optimize your profile for search. And what that means is you're filling out your profile so that when your ideal clients go to search for a writer, certain keywords on your profile make you show up in their search results. There are several areas within your profile to optimize with those keywords. And obviously, those keywords are going to be based on your niche. So if you go to my LinkedIn profile right now, it says that I'm a B2B technology copywriter, so that when clients go on and search for a writer, I show up in those search results. There are 5 sections of your LinkedIn profile that you're going to want to fill out, not only from a keyword optimization standpoint, but actually as somebody who has hired writers, I can tell you from firsthand experience that these are the parts of a profile that your eyes instantly go to when you are evaluating a writer. And those are your headline, your about section, your featured work section, your work experience, and your skills. Now, the next function you're going to want to use on LinkedIn is the messaging feature. This is where all the cold pitching goes down. I have an entire course based around how to cold pitch freelance clients, but I also have so many free videos explaining how to cold pitch. Typically, when freelance writers teach cold pitching, they're talking about cold emailing, which as a former salesperson, I can attest definitely is effective, but it's so much more work because you have to track down email addresses. That's why LinkedIn is so awesome, because you can directly message clients. The message usually appears right on the notification screen of their cell phone. And it's more personalized in email because your profile is showing up versus just a wall of text, which happens in email. Now, check out my videos all about cold pitching on this YouTube channel, but I'm going to lay out my best practices on how to write an effective cold pitch that cuts through the noise and actually gets the client to respond. If you include these 5 elements in your cold pitch, you have such a higher likelihood of getting a response versus the generic pitches. So tip number 1 is to address people by their first name and always spell it correctly. There's nothing worse. As someone whose name is Christine and I've been called Christina my whole life, it really can go a long way with clients if you're able to spell their name correctly, especially if it's a non-common name that people tend to mess up all the time. I definitely recommend you address them directly, not Miss So-and-so, not hello so-and-so, just their name with a comma, because psychologically it puts you on their level. It's how you would email a coworker or a friend, and it doesn't seem so spammy and telemarkety. Your first sentence should explain why you're reaching out. Again, skip the preambles, the openers, the fluff, and just say, I'm reaching out to you regarding writing opportunities. I believe it's best to always be very straight up about why you're reaching out to clients and not try to buffer it with a long opener or a compliment, because people are very short on time. They want to see, is this person reaching out to me regarding something that is actually legitimate and that I need at the moment, If you include something in the beginning that's not relevant, it just increases the likelihood that they're going to skip past your message and not read it, especially if it's too long. I also believe that if somebody is not interested in a writing opportunity, it's best for them to know that that's why you're reaching out so they can ignore you or say not interested, and then you can move on and not waste your time with this client. Now, this is where the personalization comes in and what gets your message responded to. It's that you personalize your message by explaining why you're the best fit to be a copywriter. Too many writers are sending very generic cold pitches and saying, I'm a copywriter who's looking for work, instead of acknowledging what it is about you and your writing experience that makes you especially equipped for this job. That's simply stating your niche, stating who you've worked for, something that shows that you are experienced in the industry. Now, your next point of personalization in your cold pitch is going to just be dropping something that proves to the client that you did some research on them, that you know who you're reaching out to, that you're reaching out to them intentionally. And you're going to do this by including a little line at the end that includes personalization. It could be a compliment like, hey, I saw this recent blog post. I heard you on this podcast and I absolutely love it. By including that personalization or saying that you've been following them for a while, something that shows that you actually intentionally reached out to them, that will go a long way, because there's so much automation in the cold outreach realm these days where clients are receiving very generic messages that pretend to be personalized, but they're not. So you want to do that one little line of personalization that shows that you actually meant to reach out to them and that you took some time to do your due diligence and personalize it in some way. If you take nothing else away from this video, it's that personalization will get your message noticed. Keep in mind that it's always better to write a concise, casual sounding message versus something long or overly formal. Again, we really want to cut through the noise and distinguish ourselves from a telemarketer, a salesperson, whatever negative connotations we have about people who reach out to us without permission. And just by proving that you are human and speaking very plainly, you can cut past all of the noise that is filling people's inboxes these days. The next feature you're going to want to use on LinkedIn is the job search feature. So that's why a lot of people are on LinkedIn to find jobs. I've found the majority of my 9-to-5 sales jobs on LinkedIn. It's basically right up there with Indeed and Monster and all of the traditional job search websites. But I believe LinkedIn is even more powerful than those sites, because most of the time you can see who is recruiting for those jobs. You can actually access their profile. The other thing I like about it is that you can see how many people applied to a role. So sometimes if I see that 250 people have applied to a role, I might not waste my time. However, if you are specialized and you have a niche, just know that you're most likely going to stand out amongst all the other applications. I've actually had companies tell me, you are the only person that actually specialized in tech that reached out to us. And I remember that job posting had hundreds of applications. So that's why I preach so heavily about the importance of choosing a niche to stand out. One of the tricks I teach in my online course is actually to go and add the recruiter who posted the job and send them a message separately so that you can stick out and just remain on their radar. Because you have to think of it like this. There's so many people that literally just clicked instant apply because LinkedIn makes it so easy. Your resume can be uploaded automatically and you could apply with one click. So if you take that extra step, you're just more likely to stand out. Comment down below and tell me, are you using LinkedIn for freelance clients yet? I want to hear what your experience has been and what parts of the platform you've been utilizing. If you have any questions, definitely drop them down below, because I use all of your feedback to inform what content I create on here. Now, staying until the end of the video is about to pay off, because I want to drop 3 bonus tips for you about how to win on LinkedIn as a freelance writer. Tip number 1 is to add multiple people within the same company. If you've watched any of my content, I teach you how to get on LinkedIn and send connection requests to your ideal client with a short pitch, introducing yourself. That's literally how I built my entire freelance business, was sending those connection invitations with a short pitch. The thing is, you're going to probably find one person within the company to pitch. My recommendation is to add several people. You don't necessarily have to fill out a pitch for several people, but just to have them showing up in your feed allows you to hop on opportunities as they come. For most writers, we're going to be sending connection requests to people within the marketing departments of companies. Marketing departments are typically the ones who hire writers, depending on the size of the organization. I will go and add several people. Tip number 2 is very similar. It's to monitor your feed for writing opportunities. That is a untapped resource. Most people, when they are hiring writers, are going to tap their existing network first and hope that they can skip the annoying, cumbersome recruiting process costing them so much time and money. They'd rather just get a referral. So they'll typically post on their feed, hey guys, we are hiring a copywriter. If you know anybody, please send them my way. That's the value of having a really large network on LinkedIn, is that you get to see those opportunities show up on on your feed. Additionally, you can go and search what people are posting about. So if you go to the search bar, type in freelance copywriting opportunities or hiring a freelance copywriter, and then you filter it by posts, you'll be able to see everybody who's posting about hiring a freelance copywriter, and you can jump on that opportunity, especially if it was just posted within the past couple days or weeks. My third best practice is to do some non-cold pitch interactions. I have a whole video on how to organically interact with clients on LinkedIn to stay on their radar. Some clients will need to see your face multiple times before they finally answer you or give you a chance. So the more you're on your feed, liking, commenting, sharing in an organic, meaningful way, the more likely you are to capture people's attention. And the way the LinkedIn algorithm works is that the stuff that you like and comment on will increase your reach. It'll help you show up on other people's feeds, and it just brings you more visibility. Now, here's something exciting. If you are watching this in real time, toward the end of November, beginning of December, I'm holding a free live workshop. I'm doing 3 separate dates, and I'll be able to interact with you at the end of the workshop and answer your questions. So there's definitely impetus to show up live. But this free workshop is going to spell out how to find higher paying freelance clients on LinkedIn and how to position yourself so that they say yes to you, how to cold pitch and be consistent so that you see better results in your freelance income. One of the biggest problems I'm seeing right now is that while some writers can get clients, they're wondering, where are the higher paying clients? I'm very transparent about how much I charge. And you might be wondering, where do I find these clients that are actually paying writers this much? I want to pull back the curtain and show you where those clients are hiding and how you can position yourself to grab their attention, get a response, and make them your client. So definitely don't miss the workshop. It is live, which is really exciting. And I can't wait to get up there to be teaching and interacting with you. Hope this video helped. You will find registration to the workshop in the link down below. Save your seat while you still can.